John 4:18. Quinque enim viros habuisti, et nunc quem habes, non est tuus vir, hoc vere dexisti. For you've had 5 husbands, and he whom you have now is not your husband. You have spoken or said this truly. Jesus now is replying again to the Samaritan woman at Jacob's well. He's just in previous verses said, go call your husband. And she said, I have no husband. And he is demonstrating here his supernatural knowledge about her condition by saying this. So he's just affirmed at the end of the last verse, you said, you spoke rightly. You spoke this truly. And now he's explaining. For the thing to remember about enim here is that it almost never comes at the beginning of a sentence. That is, it's almost never the first word. It doesn't never happen, but it's extremely rare. And the convention is that it usually comes after 1 or 2 words in the sentence, or even 2 or 3 if they're a connected expression, something like that. So this is good Latin style here. Quinque enim viros habuisti. For, giving the explanation here, for you have had in the past, you've possessed, how many? 5, here in Roman numerals, viros. Not just 5 men, we talked about this in the last video, but 5 husbands. 5 men who belong particularly to you by virtue of the marriage bond. And he goes on to tell her, he whom, and as often with relative clauses here, this is kind of a compressed expression. We might feel as though, for purposes of our English brains, we want an explicitly expressed pronoun here to be the antecedent to the relative clause, et is nunc quem habes, or is quem nunc habes. But remember, this isn't actually strictly necessary in Latin. We can do without it. He whom, we would say in English, this is going out of style too, but it's useful in cases like this. The signals that this person we're talking about is going to be the direct object of a verb that's coming, which of course is habes. He whom you have now. So he's talked a little bit about her past, and he also knows her present. He whom you have now, whom you possess as a companion or mate, we might say, non est tuus vir. He's not your husband. He doesn't belong to you by right of marriage, even though in some sense you have him. So Jesus is hinting pretty plainly, this is a situation that should not be. It doesn't quite make sense. If you have him, by definition, he should be your husband. You should be wedded to him. But something's gone wrong in this woman's life, and Jesus is gently bringing this to the fore in his conversation, in order that he can help her to see who he is and why she needs him. So he's not your husband, and here we've got kind of a break in the syntax, so maybe we put a semicolon here. Hoc vere dexisti, and this of course is just equivalent to what he had said earlier. Bene or vere dexisti means you've spoken accurately. And what is it that she's spoken accurately? This thing that she said when she said in the last verse, I have no husband.